Do I lump sum invest or dollar cost average? What's better? It really depends on what account you're asking, okay? I do both. I do dollar cost average and I do lump sum investing with my Roth IRA. So at the beginning of every year, January 1st, I do my Roth IRA conversion. This year I did 7,000. I just put 7,000 into traditional IRA and then I backdoor convert to Roth IRA and then I just invest all of that into it. 401k or HSA, those are all dollar cost average for me. It's really up to you on how you want to do it. But 401k, you don't really have a choice but to dollar cost average. I mean, you do have a choice, but you want to dollar cost average because most of you do collect employer match. So as far as 401k goes, you want to dollar cost average because if you contribute to your, like say you max out your 401k by September instead of December, you could end up missing out on your employer match for the rest of the year. Okay, so let me just show you this real quick. This is what I do. You don't have to do what I do, but 401k, dollar cost average. Okay, so every 2 weeks that you put in, right, it comes with the employer match. So let's say you want to put 15% of your income and then employer gives you, let's say 3% of the employer match. So that gives you what? A total of 18%, right? Roth IRA, you can do different ways. You can actually contribute all of it into the Roth IRA and not having to invest. You got to remember the key differences, okay? You either contribute the money and leave that cash into the money market fund and not invest. And then you can schedule dollar cost average and just automatically invest your, say, $7,000 in the Roth IRA for this year into an index fund over the course of the next 26 weeks or next 52 weeks, okay? So you can dollar cost average your investments, only investments, okay? So if you do, let's say 7,000 divided by, if you want to invest every single week, 52 weeks, and that would be $134 and I'll round it up, 62 cents every single week, okay? And if you want to do, let's say bi-weekly, and you just multiply by 2, right? So that would be 269.23 every 2 weeks, okay? So it's really up to how you want to do it. What matters more is how you want to invest. Dollar cost average your investments in the Roth IRA. If you're someone who wants to do just invest and forget every single year, there's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? So what do you think is better? Investing 500 bucks a month, making 10% return, or investing $1,000 a month, making a 7% return on investment? You can't figure out how much you can invest without a budget. There's no way around it. I personally tested out the budgeting app called YNAB, and it's not just an app that can track your income and expenses, but it can even help you create a plan to pay down your student loans, car loans, personal loans, or credit cards a lot faster. So if you're ready to change your life by getting out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, you can get a free trial without any credit card information by using the link in the description below. The reason why I do lump sum and dollar cost average, I know lump sum investing actually wins 70% of the time. And that's pretty accurate because if you think about it, within the last 10 years, we had 2 down markets. We had 2018 and we had 2022, right? 2 years ago. So 8 out of 10 times I won with the lump sum investing by just investing the entire 7,000. Okay. On the other hand, the dollar cost averaging, the nice thing about that is you do get to buy at the dip, right? Every year, throughout the year, your stock market chart is going to look like this. Okay. So it's always going up, right? But when you're dollar cost averaging, you could be buying here. That's high, right? Consider high, but it's always going up. But then you could always be buying at the cheaper price. You could be buying here at the dip and here, right? So your cost basis could be fluctuating. What that means is the average cost that you pay for the investments. I mean, you could be, just poop out of luck and always buying at the higher price. But what people really fail to realize is that when you're investing in something like the Roth IRA, okay, that is a long-term investment. You're here and then you're going to be way over here by the end of the year, right? But the reality is, you're not touching your Roth IRA for another 10, 20, or 30 years. Some people are 40 years. So just focus on the long term. And I'm focusing on the long term. If I'm just, lump sum investing my Roth IRA and I just invest and forget about it, I'm going to look back 30 years from now. I'm like, well, that was a good investment, right? So when the S&P 500 was only 5,100 points, 30 years from now, it's going to be like 200,000, maybe 500,000 points. Who knows where it's going to be? But it's always going to be going up, historically speaking. So, but yeah, that's how I really look at it. You can do the HSA. Yeah, HSA dollar cost average is pretty common because it does lower your taxable income. So the same thing with the 401k. Your taxes do go down if you do the traditional 401k. HSA, you can always deduct it. Just remember the market ups and downs and the psychology behind it. Dollar cost average is really for your psychological investing, I guess you could say. If you're like, I don't want to, chance my money to go from say 7,000 down to 6,500, right? You're like, oh, this is my first time investing. My first time ever, like doing the Roth IRA, I just dollar cost average a little bit at a time. So, and then after that, once I got used to it, I understand how the market works. I understand what the economic condition is. I just, went ahead and just started doing lump sum investing, and I really enjoy that. But 401k, dollar cost average, HSA, dollar cost average. Make sure to remember the employer match when it comes to 401k. All right. Don't lump sum invest 401k if you have an employer match, because you could miss that out. Great question.